This is Mamaw Joy, and welcome to my channel. So glad for you to be here today. I am going to make something that I've made many, many times in my lifetime, but never with this type of fruit. I'm making a persimmon pudding, and I'm using a different type of persimmon that I'm not used to using. These are from California. I think they also grow in Japan like this. This is shaped like an acorn. There's some others that are shaped like tomatoes that are this big. Now the ones that I'm used to using, I couldn't find any seeds in these, but the ones that I'm used to using are little bitty persimmons that grew back in Illinois, and they were just full of seeds. There was just gobs of seeds in this little bitty tiny thing. So I had to run it through a Foley food mill and strain the pulp out from the seed to get any pulp without seed in it. So also the seeds, people used to go get persimmons and look at the seeds to see what was on them, because they either had a knife on them, or they had a spoon on them, or they had a fork on them. And it was whatever it was for that year. It would always, if it was a spoon, they all had spoons. If it was a fork, they all had a fork. I can't remember for sure what the fork stood for, but the knife stood for a cutting cold winter. The spoon stood for you were going to be shoveling snow that winter. I don't know if any of that's true or not, but that's what they said. Anyway, we're going to make up this persimmon pudding, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. I've got 2 cups of the pulp, and I'm going to put them in the mixer. And I'm going to mix it with 2 cups of sugar. So I'm going to get that going. I'm going to mix it really, really good. It smells very, very good. These persimmons are very sweet. The other ones that are shaped like, I'm going to add 3 eggs that I beat. The other ones that are shaped like a tomato, they say you can eat them like an apple. And that's the way they eat them out there in California. And they slice them up and make pies out of them. Okay, here goes the eggs. Oh, well, that's weird. Well, I'll have to see what happened. My mixer quit. I will be back. Well, it came unplugged. I don't know how, but it did. Okay, we're going to finish mixing the eggs into this. And I'm going to get a spoon and see how it's doing, if it's mixing up good in there. I've turned my oven on 350, and it's preheating. I don't know. I'm going to take that piece out. And this piece out, if I can get it out. Okay. It's around 22 or 23 degrees here. And they told us to run the water so the pipes wouldn't freeze. And that's what I was doing. And I had a leak. My cabinet was full, had water all over it, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I had to call somebody, and he come put me a new faucet in. So that was a good deal. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is put in 1.5 cups of buttermilk. And a teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm going to beat that until it stops foaming. I went to the doctor for my arm because I had something wrong with it. I thought it was broke. And I'm supposed to be wearing a brace. But I had to get these persimmons done because they only last, you know, so long. And then I'm adding 1.5 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of baking powder, teaspoon of vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of butter, melted butter. Okay. Like I said, I'm not used to these kind of persimmons, so this may not even turn out. I'm hoping it will. And I'm almost, it seems awfully soupy. But, I don't know, I could add some more flour, but I don't believe I will. I'm just going to go ahead and pour it in the pan. Nope, I can't carry that with that hand. Anyway, I went to the doctor and I have tenosynovitis. And it's the inflammation of the shaft. There's a shaft that runs, it's in your wrist, and I'm just pouring that all over the stove. There's a shaft that's in your wrist that holds all the tendons that run to your thumb. And mine is inflamed terrible. I really truly thought my wrist was broke. But I knew I really hadn't done anything to hurt it. But thank goodness I have a smart doctor. Boy, I'll tell you what. This looks yummy. I hope it bakes up good. Now the recipe I'm using for this is for the kind of persimmons. That batter tastes really, really good. Get just a little bit out on my... Oh, that is delicious. I hope it bakes up good, because it tastes good now. If it tastes this good when it's baked, it's going to be really yummy. I have to get my... You're not going to believe this, but before I went to the doctor to find out what was wrong with my arm, I was wearing a brace that I had when I had carpal tunnel, but it didn't have the thumb brace on it. But it had the metal piece in it like this one does. And I was messing in the oven, and I had my hand in there too long trying to move a pan around. And that metal piece got hot, and I burnt my finger. It doesn't look bad now. Burnt my thumb. I burnt my wrist, and I burned up here on my arm. And I couldn't figure out why it was going on. And I remembered that it had that piece of steel in it. Here's my, and I'm supposed to be wearing this and not moving my thumb. So I am going to bake this. And when I get it baked, I'm going to make a sauce to go over the top of it. And I'll let you see what I do to make it. I'll get the ingredients out and have it ready, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, I have 1 cup of brown sugar in this pan, and I have 2 tablespoons of flour in with it. Now, I'm going to add 1 cup of water, and stir into this, and I'm going to stir it until it gets thick. Okay, and then when that gets done, I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 tablespoons of butter. The persimmon pudding has about 6 minutes left on the timer. And then I'll take it, test it, and see if it's done. We'll take it out and pour this brown sugar syrup or caramel over it. Anyway, like I said, I didn't know, I couldn't figure out anything that I'd done to my arm. And my doctor figured it out right away, and thank goodness he did. But after today, I'm not going to be using it that much. I'm supposed to leave that brace on there for 2 weeks. And it's only been about 4 or 5 days since I got it. So, I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas, and I hope you remember what Christmas is all about, the birth of Jesus. And I also hope that you will try to love one another and show kindness to everyone. That's the only way we're going to get this world back like it should be. So let's all try to love one another and do for them. And remember, if somebody makes you mad or you don't like someone, try to think maybe what they're going through. Maybe they're going through something terrible that you don't even know about, and they're not even telling anybody. And remember that Jesus loves each and every one of us. With all of his heart, he loves us dearly. And he is so good to us. So let's remember his birthday. I'm gonna go over to Michelle's for Christmas, and I'll be over there. I might be able to get something done over there, get a video done over there. She's been making some wonderful cookies. It looks like, I told her she needed to open a bake shop, a cookie shop. Her cookies look wonderful. And Hadley's been helping her. My helper Hadley's been helping her, Mimi. So I'm gonna get this to come to a boil and let it get thick. Then I'm gonna add the vanilla, a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 tablespoons of butter. And then I'll check the pudding and see if it's done so I can take it out, and I'll take it out and get it up here on the stove, and then we will pour this good sauce over it. Alrighty, it's starting to come to a boil and it's getting thick, and I'm going to turn the light off, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of vanilla. No, 2 tablespoons of butter. I'll get it. 2 tablespoons of butter. Stir that in. This is the pudding over here. When you bake, if you remember when I put it in the oven, it was a real light creamy color. And when you bake it, it turns darker. I don't know why. The other kind of persimmons do that too. So that's just something that it does. I'm going to add the vanilla. Now this isn't real thick. It's kind of creamy, liquidy. Got the butter all dissolved, almost. Okay. I'm going to pour it over the persimmons pudding. It kind of raised up and made an edge there, and that'll be good because that'll keep the sauce in there, inside. Oh boy. Yummy. Now I am going to let this set and cool down because it's way too hot to taste, but I will be back and taste a piece of it. I'm going to hop back on here a minute. Eric brought me a little orange. I think it's like a cutie. Oh my goodness. And it's fresh off the tree. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my. Straight from California. Well, it's still pretty warm. And I'll tell you something else that's good on persimmon pudding, and that is whipped cream. It looks yummy. I hope it is. I hope it is. I'll get me a fork. Oh my goodness. It's really good. It's different. These persimmons have a different taste than the ones that I had at home. These are kind of a milder, sweeter. Oh, it's so good. It puts you in the mind of bread pudding. This is so, so good. I wish everybody could taste it while it's warm. So yummy. I was worried about it being any good. I don't have to worry anymore. Eric, you be sure and tell your friends back in California, thank you for these persimmons. They're wonderful. Okay, quit eating it. It's just so, so good. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And sometimes you can find these in your grocery store. I know I have seen them in the grocery stores before. And November and December is the time when they're ripe. So you might be able to find them. But this is really good. Really good. Hope you try it if you can find some persimmons. Sometimes you can buy frozen persimmon pulp. I've never seen it, but I've heard that you can. So anyway, Merry Christmas to you all again. Bye-bye.